out in the end. Now, granted, they did get the bloodlust kill with that Feral Forsaken Archer land. All of a sudden, we're like, well, maybe. Let's hold back a little bit. Maybe this could work out, actually. It's Gosu, unfortunately for them. It obviously just didn't work out in the end. Again, Forsaken Archer and Silhouette, they were having some pretty good farm. I really do think Limp, though, actually on Polywog Priest, was the great controller of that game. He had an awesome middle lane, and then he started to roam around. That clearly affected It's Gosu there.
Well, even on top of that, I mean, Limp did play very well, but you mentioned at the beginning that they didn't even have a ward out for Bubbles to scout the runes. He didn't see them. And that's something that's just quite standard in any game, not even a competitive game of Han. But I know their idea is they want to make sure that Ophelia wasn't able to get any kind of proper ganks off, but I really feel like a rune ward is something not to be overlooked. So,
yeah, that definitely, you could say, played a role as well as far as the game goes. But again, for whatever the reasons are, Trademark Esports, they did look very good in Game 1 overall, and deserving of the victory. With that said, Game 2 has actually started, guys, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. We got Trademark Esports on the Legion side this time, and it's Gosu, of course, on the Hellborn side, and the Blind Bands phase happening. So we are looking at Wild Soul and Tremble yet again for Trademark. It worked the first game, why not do the second game? And then Tundra Ophelia, taken care of by It's Ghost, and pretty standard Blind Bands right there. Locking phase, a quick start with Pebbles actually coming out for Trademark, and then Bubbles Legionnaire to follow up from It's Gosu. So, but Pebbles first lock, you got to think Trademark Esports. Good chance that we can see Pebbles from them.
Yeah, especially when you have Tundra banned as well. That's one of the things we've talked about and touched on before is if your first pick, things like Tundra and Pebbles you want to be able to have, but not necessarily Tundra and Pebbles in the same game. I mean, the Hawk plus the Blink from Pebbles is very, very strong, but if you really think about it, it kind of limits your lanes just a bit. It also limits how you can protect a farming hard carry if you did decide to have one. So if you're just going for a Pebbles strat, I like it because it offers you some more freedom in the lanes and possibly a hard carry on one of the lanes, and you can still protect him. A lot of very strong heroes coming out in this lock pool. Bubbles, Pebbles, as we talked about, Legionnaire yet again, Glacius and Luna. So Glacius and Luna, very, very strong supports here. Maybe Insania won't pass up on, if he passes up on one, well, actually, second pick, so he's going to get 2 chances right in a row, so that's not going to matter. But last lock coming out from Insania, the Dragon is there. It's Wretched Hag. Okay, that's a hero we see a lot. Actually, it's very popular in the Southeast Asian scene, specifically. Also, I know that TT Esports, I believe, like to run Hag a lot. But a Hag will be the final lock here. So no Draconis, no Silhouette, no Mage Bay, no Dark Lady locked at all. Maybe we'll see them in the ban phase, which is coming up right now.
Yeah, it's interesting. The only lock jungle, remember last game we had 4 lock jungle heroes in Legionnaire, Ophelia, Tempest, and Warbeast. This game is only the one, and it happens to be Legionnaire, actually. So no Tempest, no Warbeast. Obviously, Ophelia, she was blind banned, so couldn't anyways. But yeah, so something kind of worth observing there, actually, that at least I did. Pointing out. But Draconis right away the first ban from Trademark Esports. So, again, just like last game and as we saw yesterday, It's Gosu just dominated with that hero, as several teams have been doing. So, don't want to have to deal with the Dark in this game. Nymphora, Dark Lady, and Silhouette are the follow-ups. There's Plague Rider. And now the final ban going to be coming out here from It's Gosu. So we're actually going through a pretty quick banning phase here. Both teams using a good amount of time, extra time in the locking phase. But the bans, I mean, not too afraid to just make it go through quickly. Now, once again, though, Jerizaiah is still an option. We'll see if It's Gosu goes ahead and bans Jerizaiah here. Or leaves him open to possibly be picked, but he was open last game and passed up by both teams in the regular picking Fade, and instead Fade is going to be the final ban. So you look at this pool, Mage Bane is your carry option, and especially with that Fade ban, that's pretty interesting because that left the door open for tdM, but no, they go with Polywog Priest, so we'll see if It's Gosu here looks to pick up Mage Bane now themselves.
Yeah, actually, before Fade was even banned, I was thinking if Fade goes unbanned, I'm pretty sure Minus is going to first pick him. But, yeah, with Fade being banned, you would think Mage Bane, with all those hard carries gone, would be a very, very good pick. And I think it's a toss-up. I think they judged just how well Limp did on Poly and how strong his Polywog is. And just in general, the hero is so amazing that they went with the Polywog Priest. It worked last time. Try it again. And, I would be surprised if It's Ghost who picks up Mage Bane here at all. I mean, Draconis, Silhouette, Dark Lady all banned, as well as the Fade. They banned it themselves. And it would be very, very powerful here. And we'll see what they do. I definitely think Mage Bane is the pick to pick here.
Tempest and Forsaken
They love
Archer,
FA.
though. They do like the FA. We saw it last game again, and you can even somewhat question with the pickup last game, but still. And again, FA not to take away from her by any means. I mean, she definitely has her strengths, as we like to say. I mean, sure, you like to level those 4 carry heroes. That's that kind of top tier, but Forsaken Archer, if anything, she is just right behind it, and even better in some cases, especially when it comes to something like pushing and lane control, even. When it comes down to it. So there is a lot of push there with that said. Tempest and Forsaken Archer as your first 2 picks, but you are opening the doors to give tdM that Mage Bane, and Noob G, I'm sure, plays a fine Mage Bane. He also plays a great Corrupted Disciple, so we can't leave that off the table either.
That's a good point. I love watching Corrupted Disciple. He's a lot of fun to watch, but I'm pretty sure Mage Bane will get picked here. I know Minuts really likes Mage Bane. And the fact that you're playing a Mage Bane against a Forsaken Archer, you're going to outfarm Forsaken Archer if you get an easy lane on Mage Bane. That's just the way it is. You're so mobile with that blink. And then you have Polywog with say you have a Mage Bane and a Polywog. Polywog's able to open up the map with a lot of pressure coming out from those wards and pushing potential, and that makes it very easy for Mage Bane to farm.
Yeah. So they are using a lot of time here, just like they did in the first game. Both teams actually using a good amount of extra time here when it comes down to the picks, and again, for good reason. You like to see that. It shows that they're actually thinking about it, not just rushing into it, but you do got to be careful. I mean, they're down to 9 seconds of extra time now. There's Pharaoh pick, and it's going to be Corrupted Disciple. So we are not going to see a Mage Bane, unless for some reason it's Kosu once again wants to go a double hard carry start like they did last game, but... but they do go with Corrupted Disciple, and as I stated, though, Noob G has proven to play a very good Corrupted Disciple as late even in this tournament. So, could you argue against that still? I mean, could you say that they should have gone for Mage Bane, or are you fine with them going Corrupted?
I think they want a more team fight and active team early on with the Pharaoh and Poly. Pharaoh-Poly synergizes really, really well together. You do so much harass damage with the Tormented Soul ability from Pharaoh. And if you just sit behind Polywog wards, it makes it so easy to push towers, as well as you constantly get them down with the nuke from Poly, the damage and the what's it called? The splash damage coming out from the wards on top of the Pharaoh nukes. It's very, very easy to initiate on top of that with a hook. It just synergizes very, very well together. And then Bombardier, I know Keizu really, really likes playing Bomb.
Yeah.
And Bomb has received some minor buffs in the recent patch. +2 intelligence there. And then on top of that, they gave the Sticky Bomb a less cooldown, specifically on the earlier levels. Not the biggest buffs, but definitely notable.
It's something, and Bombardier is an explosive hero, man.
It works really well with Tempest, by the way.
Yeah. He sets that's and well, Forsaken Archer for that matter too. I mean, it's actually a lot of team synergy coming out here so far from its Ghost. So that is a good news, and you can argue that's why that's actually a good pick there from its Ghost. And now I was going to say this is going to be interesting for Trademark because obviously there is Pebbles out there, but if they went Pebbles, they could have very likely given Glacius and a Luna to its Gosu, and that would have really screwed them over with their final pick because again, they don't have really that strong support just yet. So they do go with the safe pick in a Luna. Granted, that does open the doors for a, say, Glacius Pebbles pick, but no, they're going to go Glacius Legionnaire, actually. So we're very likely going to see a laning Tempest with a Glacius Forsaken lane and then Bombardier solo as well, and then Legionnaire jungle, I would think. But interesting that they didn't go Glacius Pebbles, actually, at least I find.
When they go Glacius Legionnaire, yeah, I don't... If they went Glacius Pebbles, they could have... they would have like a weird suicide lane, or if they'd have to man up. It wouldn't really work because if they went Glacius Pebbles, they'd kind of have to go Glacius FA like long lane, or either way they would have to dual lane long lane, and it would just not work. Otherwise, you're having like a suicide FA or a suicide bomb.
Yeah.
You could have a suicide Tempest, but that means you'd have like a support bomb. So it just wouldn't really work. Now Legionnaire though, I don't know if I agree with that. I think the whole reason of having a Suicide Tempest is kind of to be able to still be active in the other lanes when people thought you were once going to do a Jungle Tempest. So, yeah, I don't know about that, but... And then what was the last pick? I'm looking so much at its Gosu, but Pebbles actually was picked up by tdM now.
Yeah, again, if you can last pick a Pebbles out of the lock pool, you'd have to think you did very well. And I think that Trademark Esports definitely did... so it was a smart choice to go with that Aluna first pick, especially since they ended up getting Pebbles anyway. So yeah, very, very good. A solid lineup here, really, from Trademark Esports. It's definitely great all across the board. I mean, actually, it is going to be a little bit interesting with their landing phase now, too, that I think about it, because it's obviously, you would think it's going to be a solo Polywog, but then it's going to be a laning Pharaoh. Pharaoh looks like he does have Hatchet Buckler. How is this going to... Are we going to see a tri-lane... What is going to happen here? Is this going to be a support Pebbles? He only has 2 minor totems in regen.
I think it might be a roaming Pebbles.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, that just hit me, because now that I'm looking at the lineup, trying to think of the lanes, it's like, well, actually...
Yeah, it's going to be a ganking, like, roaming Pebbles for the bottom lane. I've actually seen this happen before. This ends up happening in lockpick. Sometimes you have heroes that are going to have to play a different role. And Pebbles actually could do it quite well. It's actually more fun to see him if you buy boots early on, but he's not going to do that because he does need to help out with the warding with a Luna. So, yeah, we're going to see a very, very strong lane here in the bottom. They got to suspect, though, that they're going to be up against that solo Tempest. So I don't know if throwing 3 here is necessarily the smartest idea. I think it'd be a little bit smarter to throw at top. But either way, Corrupted Disciple is going to get complete free farm down here. And that's good for him.
Yeah, again, Noob G especially on Corrupted Disciple. He has proven on this hero lately in these DreamHoN Summer Championships that he knows what he's doing with him. And he has done very, very well when it comes to being dominant and taking over games even for Trademark Esports. So that's the good news here, of course, for tdM, especially if he will have or should have a good time, which, again, with the lane setups, it's looking like that could very likely be the case. So it's Ghost is still waiting to resume here, waiting on one more thing. You got my nuts, always doing the trolling like usual. Having fun with it. But, yeah, both teams, man. I mean, both teams kind of coming out here with questionable laning phase to an extent. It's not like the most certain thing. It's not your complexity style laning phase, really. It's definitely some questions to be had here between the two teams as far as how this is going to work out. But it looks like what you can be sure of, the Legion team, they are going to invest everyone once again. I believe they did this last game, actually, and it was to the same place, actually. They're going to the bottom portion here, and they are going to protect it with all their power. So, and as you can see on the mini-map, no one going down here for its Gosu, so don't expect any kills to happen. And Trademark Esports will also be more than fine. But yeah, Tempest down here playing that suicide role, he can play it fine, but he ain't going to do too well at the bottom lane. I think Legionnaire, once again, as it usually seems in most Legionnaire games, he's definitely going to be a big case here as far as how big is he going to be as far as ganking? How big is he going to be as far as farming? What is the RNG going to be for him in the jungle in general? And are we going to see some courier blocking? That's also a question.
Yeah, that's a good question as well. The courier from Legion is coming out. It's going to that main camp. And good, I like what tdM has done here. They've suspected that they are going against that Suicide Tempest. It's quite obvious, actually. I mean, you have 2 junglers. Only one of them can go bottom. I don't think I've ever seen a Suicide Legionnaire. Although I wouldn't put it past them. But yeah, no, they did a really good job in switching this up. Maybe they didn't even switch it up. They just wanted to throw heroes bottom and had this in mind the whole time. Not quite sure. But either way, they're going to have a solo Pharaoh against a solo Tempest. That should be an interesting lane to watch, actually. We'll see who can take it. I think it's really who can outplay the other person, because I think each hero has the ability to kind of beat the other. But in the top lane, boy, we're going to have a lot of aggression up here.
Oh, my God. Yes, we are. Now, what do you make of... Actually, Glacius, real quickly. Look at this. A very interesting one. Not even... Center does this a lot, actually. It always gets me to be like, oh, that's actually an interesting ward placement. But obviously, it makes sense. You know, he definitely knew, or I was at least guessing, and sure enough is right, that there is going to be a very aggressive kind of lane up here at the top side. So that's actually a pretty good ward placement as a result of that. Won't give the Legion team too much flank opportunity, as well as going into the jungle to maybe harass this Legionnaire. Legionnaire, by the way, I wanted to get your opinion on this quickly, is he actually went for a hatchet as far as this, as well as the buckler, of course. He seems going to do some stacking right here. What do you think of a hatchet build, and how useful do you think it can be?
Hatchet's good because it helps you pull camps when you normally can't. But you see right here, actually, roaming coming out. They don't even see it. Oh, maybe he did see it. With the snipe coming out and then the stun, so they're going to steal the jungle. And, you know, I don't see enough people do that. I don't see enough people harass a Legionnaire because he is pretty helpless in the jungle. He's actually probably going to go to the Legion jungle because he knows that against this roaming potential from Pebbles and Luna, he can't really do anything up there. And he's actually already burned through 1 tree and he's half HP. And he's not going to have the easiest time down here, especially if he doesn't get good spawns. Now, there are wild hunters here. So those are favorable spawns, as well as, you know, he can always go to that small camp. But the hatchet basically helps you, and you can see right here, actually, he did use it on the
cut the tree down.
Trees, actually, so he's not going to have it. But he should be able to pull this both of these camps anyway. The hatchet just assists you
Yeah.
in getting more than one camp pulled at the same
Yeah,
time.
we actually did see him do it with the yellow camp and the camp next to that at the top jungle before he got gank attempted at least. But
Right.
this ogre camp is going to be very favorable actually for him, as well as the 4 wild hunters, and then even the wolf commander joining the party. Now he's only level 1. He needs to be really careful here. There's a lot of crits coming out, and you see he's actually going to have to fall back, and he's going to need to go fall back all the way. Yeah, he has no choice. I mean, he's going to either need to deliver a health potion or fall all the way back. So this is... Insania is going to really struggle here early on. Wow, top lane. Look at Forsaken Archer actually nearly dropping right there. That was a case of the Electric Tie from Corrupt Disciple and a Luna with an Emerald Lightning power throw on top of that. So a lot of pressure being put out the top side, despite Pebbles not currently be there. He's at the bottom lane. In the middle lane, Polywalk Priest and Bombardier seem to be going at it. So we're kind of focusing on this Legionnaire a lot, but there's quite a bit of pressure going on between these lanes. And yeah, Legionnaire, man, he is
Well,
in a tough spot.
Tisk, you never send yourself something in the career, especially that far away, when your mid has his bottle ready to go and isn't able to purchase it. I mean, Bombardier's been sitting here waiting for to purchase his bottle. He did go early items too, so and actually Legionnaire is going to get caught out here first by Pablo McDad with the wall of mummies actually, but it looks like Minos actually didn't have mana to follow up, so he's not going to be able to combo. But they're applying tons of pressure now to Legionnaire, and yeah, like I said, it's really not a smart move to send yourself items like that when your mid is waiting on a bottle. So he's going to get his bottle quite late, and that gave Polywog time to bottle up that DD rune. That's a huge deal.
That is. I mean, you see right here, he finally gets to deliver it, but it's definitely a little bit late. Again, it's kind of a small thing. Maybe it's a spectator, but as a player, I'm sure that's really frustrating, specifically for Bombardier, knowing that he had enough gold to purchase it, but wasn't able to get it delivered because of the health potion going all the way to the bottom jungle. Now, the Legionnaire is still level 1. I mean, again, it's not necessarily his fault because he has been getting screwed over big time by this great roaming Pebbles, actually. So my nuts here on Pebbles. It's working out, to say the least here, as it's at least locking a Legion. And you see the yellow camp. I mean, he's having trouble killing a yellow camp here. He tried to stack it, and unfortunately he wasn't even able to do so. So yeah, Sandia is off to a horrible start, and you just got to hope if you're at Ghost that he can recover. Tempest in the meantime at the bottom, and in comes the roaming Pebbles with the Stalagmites. No Chuck just yet because doesn't have enough mana actually. Kind of makes sense with only 2 minor totems. Going to try to eat his way through the trees. Get away. Oh, Tormented Soul. No, it's not up on cooldown. The Mommy Wall's not enough damage, and Tempest will barely survive here at the bottom lane. And again, he will have to fall all the way back, though, and get some regen. Speaking of regen, Bombardier was able to pick up a regen rune, which is currently bottled up now. So, by the way, Bombardier being played by Exhibit here, of course, the ringer for its Gosu. He's 16-3 against your 25-9 Limp Polywalk Priest. So, he is losing, but it seems like he's trying to hold his own.
Yeah, I mean, I think Polywog Priest is... Actually, I really favor the lane to Bomb. I really think Bomb should win this lane, but Polywog Priest now has a double damage, has boots over Bomb, so if Bomb, if he's in the wrong place at the wrong time, actually, right now he tried to get that Hex off onto Bomb. He misses the Bomb, and Limp is just going to kill that. But yeah, if he steps out of place for just 1 second, he is going to get ward trapped by Limp. I guarantee it, because Limp is quite a good Polywog player, as we saw last game.
Yeah. Yeah, he knows what he's doing when it comes down to that, so Bombardier will need to be very careful. Ring of the Teacher delivered at the top lane of Forsaken Archer, as well as, what were supposed to be boots. Unfortunately, he has 4 minor totems and tree, so yeah, I need to get rid of one of the minor totems, which he does, and now he has boots on top of that. So speaking of Forsaken Archer versus Corrupted Disciple, let's take a closer look at that. Corrupted 20-7 compared to a 13-7 Forsaken Archer. So Noob G, he definitely is winning this top lane, at least when it comes to creep farm as well. So you can safely say, honestly, all 3 lanes actually are being won here by teammates, or by Trademark Esports, excuse me. And on top of that, with Legionnaire struggling so much, I mean, really, its Ghost is actually in a pretty deep hole here. Only 5.5, or at least now 6 minutes into the game, even.
Yeah, and that really crucial mistake I think by Insania was bottom when he tried to bite, or took a little more off than he could chew. Actually, Pebbles almost dies here to the Tempest, who had those stuns coming out, but Pharaoh, being played by Pablo McDowd, able to assist. And actually behind the lines is Limp. He's ready to go. He has the boots, but I think Tempest realized something was up. He is going to fall, though. Bloodlust coming out for Pablo McDowd, actually, so he will get the extra 200 gold.
Oh, Bombardier at the top lane, though. Nice Airstrike right there. Gets a kill and Corrupted Disciple. Now Glacius did fall. Crippling Volley, no, not going to be up in time, and Aluna will stay alive, but at least Bombardier doing a good job right there of timing that Airstrike ability and picking up the kill on Corrupted Disciple. If you're going to kill a hero hero on this Legion team, that's definitely the one you can safely say you want to be killing. But again, where it's kind of good news there for its Gosu, obviously the bad news at the bottom lane, as you were commenting on there, with Tempest getting caught out, and ultimately a 3-man gank happening onto him. He almost got the kill onto Pebbles, but obviously just wasn't enough. And now an invisible Polywalk Priest comes in. Bombadier's like, are you freaking kidding me right now? He's going to get locked down, and, well, I mean, that's just nothing he could have done right there. An invisible Polywalk Priest comes in with a War Trap ready. You know, it's not much you can do as a Bombardier. So really unfortunate for him, but well played by Limp once again. And he's playing active just like it was last game, and that's some more scary news for its Gosu here.
Yeah, and then a ward comes down right now from center as they will now have vision of the runes that pop up, and that's just, yeah, unfortunate. Really nothing that Bomb could have done there, but yeah, looking back, and I just feel like this Legionnaire's farm is really not too good. You would expect him to get that life tube much earlier. He has delivered it to himself now, but I want to talk about one. He pulled those creeps to the Legion jungle. It was just too much. Like you saw, it almost killed him because of those wolves, especially. The wolf commander does give off that damage, or it's plus 30 base damage. That's a lot. And then just the sheer amount of creeps. And also, he did get the hatchet, so he didn't have double shield. And so it didn't mitigate very much damage.
Yeah, and I think maybe a big reason why Insania win for that is because of his struggle at the top lane event initially, and he felt like he was behind, so he almost felt like he needed to do that. As we do see at the top lane, yeah, Forsaken Archer is going to get caught. There's the Chuck, and Fane actually got credit for the kill right before the Chuck hit. So Pablo McDad comes in, Wrath of the Pharaoh hits, and down goes Forsaken Archer. We do see Legionnaire once again. Dropping pretty low right here, but he does have the life tube, as you mentioned, and Bombardier even comes in to assist. But again, another great gank setup here from the Legion team. This time, once again, by Pablo McDad on Pharaoh, and he is now 1-0-1 here in this game. Again, Polywalk Priest 1-0-1 himself. Is in the middle lane, double damage room bottled up. He's going to get sticky bombed right here, so actually well placed by Exhibit playing that Bombardier. And it's going to take a little bit of damage as a result of the explosion. He's going to go in, actually airstrike on top of that. Yes, he'll pick up that kill. Well timed there by Exhibit. Picks up that kill on a Polywalk Priest. So, might say, playing pretty well. And actually at the bottom lane, Corrupted Disciple goes down there to Tempest and Glacius. So, there's some signs of life here for its Ghost all of a sudden. Again, well played by Bombardier in the middle lane. Good timing.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't see the mid lane, but able to get a solo kill on the Limp there. And then bottom, the Tempest ulti was used. He knew that Sender was coming on that Glacius. And Sender actually able to pick up the kill, but good play there. I mean, Tempest ult is there to be used, and I hate seeing it off cooldown, so well played there by Zaya.
Yeah, that was definitely, again, just like, unfortunately, I was the exact opposite. Didn't really catch much of that bottom action, but good information to have that he did use the ultimate, but again, it's there to be used, especially early on, so well played getting the kill. And again, on Noobg especially, who has dropped to about 200 gold per minute after those 2 deaths, isn't really having the greatest time when it comes to that. I mean, we talked about that. He was winning creep farm against Forsaken Archer at the top lane, but, you know, he got ganked, he moved to the bottom, he gets killed again, and Noobg, great Corrupted Disciple player, not so much this game, though. He is struggling, at least only 10 minutes now into the game. Zion Tempest, he is also now in the jungle a little bit. He's trying to pick up on his farm. He's going to stack this camp right here. No, he's not going to be successful, but he'll still take out the Catman champion as well as the Catman soldier. And then you do have Insania, as struggling of a start he had, man. I mean, it really sucked for him. He is starting to recover. He has kind of hit that 200 gold per minute mark now. He is being very careful for good reason. As you look at Limp once again with an invisible rune, also a double damage rune. I mean, talk about freaking rune control here coming out from Limp. Good 6th sense, though, by Legionnaire. Now, my guess is that he actually spotted him with the Sword of Sight running up as he was using the invis, so... but still, good job of just map awareness in general. As you'll see the top lane, Forsaken and Glacius playing very passive up here. So very good play by them because this would have been a guaranteed kill.
The Ward of Revelation is being delivered, so they do know he is invis somewhere. I don't know if Polywalk actually saw that Ward of Revelation coming out, but there he is. He walks right there. He actually initiates onto Sender first. The wards come out. The hook coming out from Pablo McDad. He doesn't have mana for wall, actually, and then Tempest they're able to assist. No Tempest ultimate, as he did use it in the bottom lane, but good kill by Limp.
Yeah, at least they got somebody, so Limp, those double runes were not gone to waste, or did not go to waste, as not only got the kill, but they do force Forsaken Archer also to follow all the way back. But meanwhile, Bombardier coming in with a flank. He does have an airstrike, gonna land a sticky bomb. Is it gonna be enough damage, though? Probably not. So I believe Polywalk Priest shall live, and you see him, he kind of wants to, but yeah, Polywalk Priest will be fine in the end. See right there, it explodes, about a third of his life, but he is more than fine. Good attempt by Bombardier, just not able to get up there in time, though. Now going back to the middle lane, and actually Pebbles wanting to be a little bit careful right here. He's got to suspect something, but he is not so far. And Bombardier in prime position as long as he lands a sticky bomb. No, he misses the sticky bomb. He was trying to avoid the stalagmites. If he landed that, that should have been a kill on top of an airstrike. But unfortunately does not, and Pebbles will be fine. So 12 minutes in now. We are looking at a 3,200 goal lead as well as a 1,300 experience lead here in favor of our Legion team. And you pull up the GPM chart once again, and it still does remain quite in favor, actually, of our Legion side. And as struggling as Noob G has maybe been, he still is managing 253 goal per minute, and it's actually great, especially for the way this game's going.
Yeah, you compare that to Keizu, who's sitting only at 206 goal per minute. So he's getting a lot of free farm now in the bottom lane, as Keizu is up in the top lane. So both in the respective lanes here, trying to get as much farm as possible. Noobji just dinged level 8 there. I want to see what he does as far as putting a point in here. Is he going to put one in more into Corrupted Conduit, or is he going to put one in that Static Charge? Static Charge is quite good against. I actually don't know if it works on the bomb, the Boom Dust.
Boom Dust, yeah.
But it would. I feel like why wouldn't it? And that would be an interesting, reason to level up. He does go with the Corrupted Conduit, so he's going to get so much damage if he does get the hook coming out onto Insania. He does have Helm of the Black Legion finished, but I don't think that's going to be enough. And then actually Sender coming here to maybe give some assistance. Polywalk here with completely full mana. Bomb has a double damage rune, gets the sticky bomb off, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The wards do come out. I think that's maybe a little excessive, but they do get the kill nonetheless. Papa McDad is on a serial killer double tap.
Yeah, that was now Insania, something noticing there, and again, not that it's completely against it, but he doesn't have his taunt just yet, and not that would have done a whole lot right there, but even level 1 taunt. Oh, bottom lane, by the way, airstrike was used on top of another Tempest ultimate, and they kill Corrupted Disciple. So Umzat right there actually gets credit for the kill, but definitely some assistance coming out from Bombardier, and that's the power of the airstrike ability, being global as it is. But again, at level 1, what is it? You get used taunt. You do get 5 armor from that. Again, not to say that would have been the difference maker by any means, since he does level up taunt right there, actually. But still, it's interesting. And actually, this is kind of interesting to me now that I'm really looking at it. He does level 4 Whirling Blade. He only has level 2 charge, and that is maybe a little bit questionable there.
Yeah, definitely. Especially coming from a Legionnaire that's gonna have to move around a lot simply to respond to what the Legion team is doing. I mean, they're doing a great job of roaming. We see Strider's Pebbles. We don't normally see Strider's Pebbles, but we've seen it. So that means there's going to be a lot of pressure. That means he's going to have to move. Legionnaire is going to have to move around. And that being said, I don't know if maxing Whirling Blade is the smartest choice. I think maxing Terrifying Charge is a better choice when you're going to have to move around a lot.
Yeah, I think this is basically a statement, though, by Insania, especially with him not getting taunt until now. It's of, I'm going to farm, guys. I'm just literally going to sit back and farm as much as possible. Especially with the start that I had, I just need to recover. And again, it is definitely debatable, but it's obviously Insania's decision in the end. He is going to do double stacked Ancients right here, and he actually did them fairly quickly, so his GPM does jump up a little bit right there, as now he's up to 254. And
Hook coming up top.
He's recovering. Hook at the top lane, Unforsaken Archer, crippling volume hit. Nice power throw on top of that, though. Very good job by Aluna. Pharaoh may end up dying here, though, as a result. Does he have airstrike? No, he does not, so actually Pharaoh should be fine. That's a good job by Bombardier trying to get there in time, but just not nearly enough. And Pharaoh will survive, but good hook from Pharaoh. And Pharaoh continues to be the top farm of the game, actually, by Pablo McDad. So he's playing a great Pharaoh game here.
Yeah, he is. Another invisible polywalk. It seems like Limp just gets every rune he wants, but he is still invis for another 35 seconds. I think he actually did pop into the tower range there, and that's why this Bombardier is playing so scared. But he's looking at other routes, and he might find Insania here. His wards are up. I think Insania might drop. Is he going to place it? Is he going to open up on here? Yes, he does. The ward trap does come out. The jolt to follow, and he does hold him, and I think Insania is going to die again. Yes, he does. The deny happens actually in the mid lane. They were trying to pursue Polywalk. The sticky bomb does hit. Excuse me, but I think he will be fine.
Yeah, again, man, Insania has to be hating life right now. You just said it, though. I mean, you got to give credit to Limp once again because of that rune control. I mean, it seems like other than the one regen rune that was bottled up by Bombardier, remember earlier, I believe he's gotten every single rune. I mean, it's been a mixture of invisibilities, double damage. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But that's the power of the rune control. It's no doubt set him up at least 2, if not 3 of all 3 of his kills here that he actually has on top of the 2 assists. So that's a big, big deal in favor of Trademark Esports, of course. So now Forsaken Archer as well. Keizu, again, it's not the prettiest, but she is kind of going. She's slightly going up and up here. She does have Steam Boots, and it looks like actually working on a Whispering Helm yet again. He did this last game as well. I believe with that Helm of the Victim purchase, unless he built a Shaman's Headdress with the Mystic Vestments, which would be just weird, but probably going to be a Whispering Helm. And what do you make of that? He did it in the last game, and looks like he's going to do it again this game.
Well, it's an item to try to secure late game. It helps you farm a lot more. You can start pulling Ancients by yourself if the supports are not there nearby and able to do that. The only thing I don't like about it here is usually when we see people get that Whispering Helm, they just kind of move it in the jungle and open the lane up for someone else, which is a great strategy. We've talked about that a lot. But you can't really do that here with the Legionnaire, who's probably going to be hoarding the jungle most of the time anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that one. I think I would have just got actually more damage, to be honest.
Oh, Glacius, you're in a lot of trouble, buddy. We do see Pharaoh jumping in. Pharaoh, Wrath of the Pharaoh just missing, and that is huge because Forsaken Archer was porting out at the same second. Man, if that hit, that would have been another big kill coming out, but it did not, so good news there coming out, of course, for its Gosu. Bombardier level 11 now, so he does have the level 2 airstrike here, and he is ready to go with that. He, by the way, has Ghost Marchers and a Grave Locket, 1,700 gold saved up. I am very curious to see what Bombardier goes for. You know, you are going up against a Pharaoh, a Corrupted Disciple, even a Polywog Priest. I mean, I think it's safe to say a Tablet of Command here could be a very powerful choice for him. But more importantly, I'm curious, what do you think about this as well? What do you think about, well, hold that thought, though, actually. It seems like something may be setting up here. Oh, no, he's spotted, so he needs to be careful. He's going to charge out, try to land a sticky bomb. He misses, though. Bombardment comes out on top of that, but Aluna did a good job of actually juking right there, and Fane will be fine. But now, again, Staff of the Master is a rare item, honestly. There's very few heroes, at least in the competitive scene, that we do see it on. Bombardier you can argue, is one of those. Do you think it's worth a pickup here?
Not particularly. I think he needs more utility than anything else. He is very squishy. He does a lot of damage, so I think things like, especially Push Book against Pharaoh and Poly is pretty much the name of the game for him. I would expect that to be really his first item. Now, one thing, Pebbles has his portal key. This roaming Pebbles has a portal key. Now, he has gotten a little bit of, or a lot of time actually, to farm. And in the bottom lane, Zai looks like he does have an ultimate. Airstrike is going to go, but I don't know if it's going to be enough damage. The portal key from Pebbles he just picked up is going to play a huge role. And I think Glacius is going to fall now too. So that portal key pickup, huge pickup there from Minus, as it directly affected that counter initiation.
Oh, that would have been huge there if just one more. If Forsaken Archer was there or Legionnaire, I mean, that would have been huge for its Gosu. But unfortunately, as you put it, despite a level 2 airstrike, not nearly enough. Now Forsaken Archer in the middle lane, double damage once again on Liv, but there goes the Tablet of Command. In comes a charge on Tom from Legionnaire, and Polywog Priest will get decimated right there. So there's the team support that its Gosu needed, and that Tablet of Command right away comes into play here for Bombardier. So excellent save by Bombardier specifically, and then of course Forsaken Archer helps to turn it around. So again, unfortunate at the bottom lane, but they at least got the turnaround in the middle. But as you're saying, I mean, Pebbles portal key pickup on a roaming support Pebbles. Well, not even 20 minutes into the game. He basically got around 19, really 18 minutes into the game even. Wasn't exactly sure, but that is insanely fast for him. So yeah, he did play a role right away as well as we saw at the bottom side. But again, good turnaround code in the middle lane at least.
Well, I've looked at his CS and he's been finding places to get farm. He has about 60 CS, so
that's a lot of spread CS, by the way.
It is. I'm very surprised. Even Aluna has almost 40.
Yeah.
You compare that Glacius has 2. So, but things are. I mean, there's still things looking good. Actually, Insania is bouncing back quite well in farm. He's almost got his portal key. I would really hope that that's what he goes for. I know we saw previously him go for a Soul's Bulwark, but I really think a portal key is kind of necessary this game, especially when you're behind. Just giving that surprise, a surprise factor and that jump effect. They really need that initiation. They don't have it yet. Tempest is going for definitely more like early team fight items, as he really has a lack of farm. Not actually that spam coming out from. I can't even speak right now. The Electric Tide coming out is able to spot out the Tempest, and he will go down. That's very unfortunate. It's not like she was going to be able to get away anyway. Doesn't have a push book, doesn't have a portal key, so good kill there. It actually does go to Minuts, who's 2-0-2.
As you said, that was just a great catch. Oh, nice mummy wall there from Pharaoh right as Legionnaire was charging in. Pharaoh put up the mummy wall, pushed him back, and was able to get away. Again, great play by Pablo McDad, who continues to have a very good game here for Trademark Esports, still sitting above that 300 gold per minute mark. Speaking of great farm, Corrupted Disciple now, he has actually taken over as the top farmer in the game. He's pretty much tied with Pharaoh, but for the most part up there. He's got a Shrunken Head on the way. Now, we got a big fight actually coming. In comes a charge from Legion. Actually, is that a haste? What the hell is that? He is charging like crazy. Sticky Bomb will hit Corrupted Disciple. The wards come down from Polywog Priest. There's a lockdown. Pebbles jumps in the back right for second after the Electric Tide on top. The airstrike comes out. Down goes Corrupted Disciple to decapitate from Legionnaire, but a Legionnaire will fall in the background. And Bombardier, the only one alive after it's all said and done in that fight at least. Tempest comes last minute, but it's just not nearly in time. So again, we see a case of Trademark Esports coming out on top. They did lose Noob G on Corrupted Disciple, and his Shrunken Head will be delayed as a result. Now, we could have something interesting here. Polywar Priest ports in, and Polywar Priest is actually going to be in a lot of trouble. Bombardment hits. In comes Pebbles. Not enough mana, though. That's the downside of playing support. Tempest does have an ultimate in 5 seconds. Not just yet, though. Wants to finish off Limp. He will do so, and actually, Aluna is going to Ghost Marchers away. Should be fine. Pebbles, though. Pebbles is so close. He has a Porta King 1, and yes, he will PK away to survive. So at least they picked off Limp there in the end, and they're also going to clean up what appears to be triple stacked Ancient. So you see the Sticky Bomb, kaboom, on top of the Boom Dust, and that's what happens. So yeah, nice deny in the middle lane, as the middle lane was, or top lane was being pushed as well by Pharaoh.
Yeah, Limp, that was just a little too ballsy for my liking. I don't think that kill was necessary if he did even was able to capture that. They already got a very, very good exchange bottom, and Tempest wasn't there, I think, because she was still dead from that pick-off there happening in the Legion jungle, so that's very unfortunate. That ultimate is now still ready. Now, Tempest did finish that push book, but which is very, very good against this team. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think, as I said before, Bomb getting that push book is very, very good against Polywog, and especially Pharaoh. And it's going to be really, really hard, now that I think about that Tempest game. He's really going to have to get both a Shrunken Head and a Portal Key to be really, really effective. And that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, and even with the Shrunken Head, this is Pharaoh for you.
Exactly.
So the Wrath of the Pharaoh will still cancel that. So you do got to be careful if you're Tempest here. And so you could even argue that's even a better reason to go for something like a Tablet Command over a Portal Key Rush for Tempest. You know, it gives them the stats, and it still provides a lot for your team, especially against that Pharaoh. So yeah, the fact that they have 2 of those now, really good news. Now they do have a Portal Key on Legionnaire, so he did use in that last fight, of course. He's now working on a Soul's Bulwark, would be my guess, but that is good news here for its Gosu. So again, it wasn't the prettiest start here for its Gosu, but honestly, and as much slack as I was giving Exhibit here, now this time playing Bombardier last game, he's been doing fantastic this game. Bombardment comes out of Polywog. Okay, that's maybe a little bit over. Oh no, Pebbles is also here. I didn't even notice. And Pebbles will also fall, so a great Tempest ultimate actually coming out from Umza. They pick up a double tap, Corrupt Disciple trying to clean up with the Electric Tide. There's the Shrunken Head. Pharaoh in the background, jumps on a Legionary, Tonto, getting the armor, and the Decapitate right before the death to take out Noob G there on Corrupt Disciple. Pharaoh's also going to fall. The Sticky Bomb explosion going to do him in, and Exhibit is now a serial killer for its Gosu. Another big fight coming out for its Gosu. And 24 minutes in, this game is now a lot more even.
Holy throw, Batman. What happened? I mean, that was really, really bad. And even actually Noob G coming in at the end, despite the fact that he had Shrunken and activated, he was taking a lot of auto attack damage. I don't know what from. Maybe just a lot of focus from the Tempest Elementals. I'm not quite sure, but he was dropping fast. And, oh, that's very, very unfortunate. Now its Gosu was right back into this game. Really, really well played by Insania, able to get that ultimate off right at the last second before he died. And just really well played by its Gosu all together. And actually, who's that? Pebbles might be in a lot of trouble. He's getting the stuns coming out from Tempest. And now Bomb is joining the party. One more hit. Does he have that Portal Key ready? He does. The wards come out to kind of trap and block off the enemy team. He does have a Portal Key up, but no! The snipe from Keisu in that ultimate is going to kill him, and now actually Poly is in a lot of trouble. Oh no, this is looking really, really bad for tdM all of a sudden.
Portal Key 2,
he does have a Portal Key.
Nope.
No, the Sticky Bomb is going to reveal him, so they're going to have easy access to get those auto attacks on him. Wow, what just happened? I feel like they threw the game away.
You said it perfectly. Holy throw, Batman. What is going on indeed here? Trademark Esports is just playing so sloppy all of a sudden, and then poured out at the last second right there. Right before the catch, I believe that was Tempest, played by Umzai, who's able to Homecoming Stone just in the nick of time. But you are right, man. I mean, that was some sloppy play from Trademark Esports, and it's almost as if, hey, we're up 1-0. You know, we're good in this game. Let's go ahead and just lose all teamwork and just kind of do our own thing now. Let's just leave Skype and try to make it a challenge. Well, it was a challenge there, apparently, and again, it's Gosu. They played it well to not take anything away from them, but you can safely say, I mean, there was some throw there from Trademark Esports. So, and now, you look at the overall stats, I mean, we're all of a sudden, Forsaken Archer has his Shrunken Head finished. Yeah. She didn't even finish a Whispering Hell first, so she just simply got the Helm of the Victim for regen, which we have seen from time to time. But she's got that finished now. You have Legionnaire, Soul's Bulwark in the works. Bombardier has actually picked up a Blessed Orb. And with another 1,100 gold saved up, I am very curious, actually, with what he goes for that. Is it going to be something like a Sheep Stick, even? That could be somewhat powerful, but And then, yeah, all across the board, though, things looking better and better. Legionnaire actually jumps in. There's a sticky bomb onto Luna. Could have very likely died. Nice counter initiation from Pablo McDan, though. Decapitate was used by Legionnaire. On top, Pablo McDan going to fall as well as that piercing arrows comes out. And Trademark Esports is just falling apart all over the place. It's Gosu really playing as a team now. You can tell they're working off of momentum here.
Yeah, and maybe Pebbles wants to jump. Limp does come in and jumps onto. Oh no, pushbook on the Forsaken Archer. Can she shop Shrunken?
Oh.
The stun did not come out fast enough from Pebbles, unfortunately. Really big misplay right there. I feel like they could have got a free kill, but unfortunately, I mean, good teamwork coming out from who has that pushbook. I want to give credit where credit is due. Is the Bombardier did use it. So good job by Exhibit, their ringer there, who's 5-1-9, able to save Forsaken Archer. But still, even with that pushbook, I feel like Pebbles could have got that stun off before the Shrunken Head was activated.
Yeah, I honestly don't feel as bad as me ragging on Exhibit the first game now because he is. I'm glad that he's showing me that I was an idiot that first game for criticizing him because. Granted, I still think there was some justification, but man, here in Game 2, he is absolutely destroying this game. I really want to give him all the credit in the world for doing so well. In the top lane, the tower goes down. Pebbles was here, but there were some elementals, and there was a creep wave, so I unfortunately didn't catch it, but again, not the easiest thing for Pebbles, but Pebbles in a lot of trouble. In comes the invisible Bombardier, the sticky bomb explosion, and Umzai is now a serial killer as well as he picks up that kill. It just, the momentum is completely on its Ghost side right now. It's just ridiculous. Going from Game 1 and so much of this Game number 2, it was just like Trademark Esports had everything going for them. It was just looking very gloomy here for its Gosu, and it was honestly looking like we could have had a quick 2-0 series victory in favor of tdM, but its Gosu just all of a sudden, it started here with this bottom fight where who knows what tdM was thinking. They took that, and they are running with it big time. And Trademark Esports, it's hard to say. Obviously still in it by all means on their side too, but this is now, if anything, just a very, very even game. And Corrupted Disciple with that Shrunken Head, you would think that's such a powerful pickup for especially a hero like that in a game like this, but he really hasn't made much use of it yet.
Well, he's tried, but still. And now with the offensive souls, Bulwark now in Legionnaire, that he's going to do a lot of physical damage to Corrupted Disciple. Now, Corrupted Disciple only has 1,200, about 1,300 max life there, and he's going to get cut through. You get that number down to, 450? Yeah, 450, and you get that Decapitate, you're dead instantly, no matter, Shrunken Head or not. So I've seen NoobG build Corrupted Disciple in the past. He does actually like that Nullstone. Actually, Initiation coming on, but Pebbles was missing the combo. I believe that was on... Was it an illusion?
It was an illusion.
Yeah, it was an illusion. I saw the two clumped up in mid. I couldn't quite tell. But no, the Firebrand is picked up, so probably that Frostburn going to be picked up onto NoobG. But yeah, if you look at the heroes actually on its Gosu, 4 out of 5 of those are actually farming above 300 gold per minute.
Wow.
And a complete experience swing, too. 11k experience now in favor of its Gosu.
Yeah, a level 17 Bombardier. That's a big mark right there because he has that level 3 airstrike now. A lot of damage coming out from that, which is global. And again, we stressed from the beginning, with just their first 3 picks, which I believe was Tempest, Bombardier, and Forsaken Archer, that's an insane amount of AoE synergy right there coming out. And the fact they have a level 16 Tempest, level 17 Bombardier, and a Forsaken Archer who's 15, soon to be 16, I'm sure herself. So we're going to have 3 really big level 3 ultimates that are going to be coming out here from its Gosu. So tdM, they need to be very careful now as far as picking and choosing their fights. Because if they get, Pharaoh, as great as he is for initiating, he does have a tendency to cause things to clump up from time to time because of those mummy walls and the jump in. And if you're tdM, you do got to be careful with that. So that's where its Gosu is no doubt going to have a huge advantage. And Insania also deserving a lot of credit. I would have rage quit. I'm not going to lie. I would have rage quit with the start that he had this game. It was just absolutely ridiculous how locked in he was getting, and just nothing was working for him. But he is now almost level 16 himself. He has now recovered to 327 gold per minute, and as you mentioned, that Soul's Bulwark, and he just cleans up some Ancients right there, and there you go. He has a level 3 Decapitate now. So all across the board looking good. And I just saw a Manitou purchased by Bombardier, so I think actually... Now, unless he also had a Life Tube, so I'm not exactly sure. It still could be a Nullstone, but...
That would seem silly to me.
That would seem a little bit silly, so I still think a Sheepstick is very likely the case here for Exhibit.
Shrunken Head is finished on Tempest, by the way. Huge pickup. Very, very huge pickup. Now, you're right, the Pharaoh, Wrath of the Pharaoh can still go through it, but it still is going to make things a lot easier for Tempest to get his proper positioning in team fights. Tempest, by the way, is level 17, so Zaya's made a great recovery here. It seemed like just a second ago, tdM just ganked Tempest in the jungle, got another kill right after that, and things were looking so good for them, but this game has turned around so quickly.
Well, you talk about also, and as much as I stressed it too, how Pharaoh's kind of that quote-unquote counter to Tempest because of that Wrath of the Pharaoh going through the Shrunken Head, but that also changes the mentality now completely. We talk about this with like Andromeda as well. It's like, sure, now they can stop us still with Pharaoh, but that means he's going to have to sit back and wait for Tempest to initiate first. He won't be able to jump in himself first if he wants to use that. In fact, we see right here he uses it on a Glacius. They get the very easy kill, actually. Oh, the Hellborn team, though, they want to make something happen. We got Tempest coming in. There's a lockdown right there. Polywall Priest, though, jumps in. Shrunken Answer activated the taunt of Polywall Priest, and then Decapitate, not even necessary. Tempest ultimate pulls in, corrupted a side pull on top of that piercing arrows, and he will fall with the Decapitate. Bombardier living with the tablet command. Barely still alive from mine. That's another tablet. He is still alive, and yes, he'll survive. Pebbles is not fast enough. Pharaoh runs in trying to kill. The airstrike comes out, and Zebe will not only stay alive, but get the last kill right there. Unbelievable play from Team It's Gosu right now, and they have dominating lead here as a result of it. I honestly think we're going to Game 3 with the way this game is going right now.
Oh, we're 100% going to a Game 3. This game is completely thrown, unfortunately, by tdM. They looked so good in the beginning, but they really did throw it away. Now, again, you know, it's got to be careful not to say that you can't discredit IG or It's Gosu from this. I mean, they've shown composure. Yeah, they've shown great composure. The push books are really kind of running the show right now. As you saw, Bombardier just kind of getting pushed around by himself, and also Zai, but you know, ultimately saving him and getting a counter kill into my nuts. So things are really, really looking good for It's Gosu.
Oh,
they're tempting Kong right now.
Kongor.
Yeah, they're tempting Kongor, but they did stop. So I'm kind of interested.
I mean, a power throw came through, but there were still 3 players dead. I mean, they are starting to resurrect, and maybe they figured with their DPS they weren't going to burst down. I disagree, though. I mean, I think they had that, but you know, again, they do have a lead now. They do want to play it safe here, and ultimately you can't blame them. Like we said at the beginning of the series, man. I mean, not only are you trying to play for a chance to play complexity in the grand finals, coming from the losers bracket, but this match alone, it's a $3,500 prize pool difference. $7,000 for second. $3,500 for third place. So there's a lot of money on the line here just for this series alone that you're playing for. So you can't blame, you know, when it comes down to some passive play. Now, granted, this game, just like the first game, has been very entertaining when it comes to kills. I mean, hell, we have 38 kills, 33 minutes in. If you're averaging a kill per minute, you know you're doing pretty well, actually. That's at least what I say. So I think we are. Sheepstick has been finished on Bombardier. So these big items really starting to be picked up now. These more luxury items, you can even call them. You talked about the Firebrand on Forsaken Archer, as well as that Whispering Helm, Demonic Breastplate finish, and actually Pebbles jumps here on a Tempest. This could be a pretty good chance, but a nice Sheepstick on a Polywall Priest. In comes Pharaoh, though, with the rest of the Pharaoh, as well as the Mummy Wall. It's not going to be enough, though, as all they did take out Tempest, actually tablet it out, but not nearly enough to survive for him. Piercing Arrows was used by Forsaken Archer. Bombardier lives, the airstrike comes out, and it does not pick up a kill, I believe. Now, they were able to take out Aluna and Corrupt the Disciple in the meantime, so there's 2 different fights really going on right here. That was a good distraction, actually, but It's Gosu. All they lost was Tempest, and they got especially the Corrupt Disciple kill. Now, you see the charge from Legionnaire. He's going, and he's got a taunt ready. There we go with the taunt. Now, the tongue-tied happens. Actually, no, the taunt didn't go off, so that makes sense. Nice Mummy Wall, though. And a Portkey away, but a Portkey's right into that was Glacius, drops a Bound Eye, actually, and Pebbles will gladly pick that up. So, an unfortunate end there for It's Gosu, but I still think overall, you safely say they came out on top of that fight.
I mean, yeah, Noobg is not getting any farm. He's 179. They're doing a good job of focusing him. And that was a really, really good Storm Spirit, I got to say, by Limp. Storm Spirit himself and able to mitigate the entire bomb ultimate coming out from, well, Bombardier. And it was perfectly timed. A really good job there. And then just some interesting kind of team fight there among that jungle and the ancient spot where It's Gosu was. But yeah, ultimately I think It's Gosu looked good. They did get, you know, the carry from tdM, which is Noobg. And he's not even farming 300 gold per minute right now. He is farming very, very slowly. In the meantime, you got Keizu, who's farming 375 gold per minute. And so things are looking really, really good for them. I mean, really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, God, again, you just talk about just insane recovery. Both Forsaken Archer and Legionnaire had such struggling starts this game, yet here they are, 370 gold per minute Forsaken Archer and 346 gold per minute Legionnaire. Both are well ahead of anyone here on this Legion side. So all across the board, though, you said the stat earlier, and it still stands. 4 out of the 5 heroes here on the Hellborn team have 300 plus GPM, all of which is more of anyone on the Legion side. So just, again, just kind of more stats to look at and give you a reason why It's Gosu is definitely in control of this game right now. Now, again, to say the least, they don't want to... Now, the last thing you want to do is, especially with the momentum that you're working off of, is to get a little bit too much of a hype and start throwing yourselves into the Legion team and giving them a chance to come back. But it doesn't seem like that is going to happen, nor has that been happening. So they seems like they got their composure still. It's Ghost is now grouping up here at the bottom lane, making somewhat of a push. So the Legion team kind of doing the same here in the middle lane. It's Feral, Polywog, Priest, and Pebbles all doing it. But you also talked about, I mean, Noob G, again, he's definitely has a history of playing a very good Corrupted Disciple, especially in this tournament. This game, though, it's definitely not going nearly as well for him. Now, he is getting close to a Frostburn finish, which will once again be good. But, oh, the Hellborn team going to all mass TP back, actually. Here we go. They catch Legionnaire, but he starts to fight. Corrupted Disciple gets pulled in with the Tempest Ultimate, as well as Polywog Priest. The Bombardier Airstrike comes out. Down goes Corrupted Disciple. Polywog Priest, Storm Spirit, staying alive for now, but is he going to fall in the end? Yes, he will. Not enough to survive. Bombardier trying to survive, and he will also survive. Takes out Feral. And you see, only the death on the Hellborn team was Glacius. Make that Legionnaire as well. But a vote to concede at least comes out. There's a GG well plays. And Trademark Esports loses game number 2 here. It's Ghost who comes back strong. And as a result, we are going to a third and final game, ladies and gentlemen.
I know, this is really exciting. I always love it when games like this go to a third game. It just makes it so much more fun to cast and so much more fun to watch in general. And really, really well played by It's Ghosted, but man, I gotta say, tdM had it!
Yeah.
They were playing so well. Their lanes were set up really well. Great roaming out, coming out from both Pebbles and Aluna, being played by Minus and Fane, respectively. But, I mean, just that shows you just how easily things can turn around.
It does.
You know, it makes me think about those games when we cast with TD Esports when they and thinking about hasty concede votes. You know,
Yeah.
It's not over. You know, you still have time. Give the other team maybe an opportunity to throw and just stay in it. But that's exactly what we saw this game. I mean, tdM definitely had it, but weren't able to grasp it and lost control.
Yeah, and again, you do want to stay away from making it seem like that wasn't really It's Ghost, that was tdM throw. I mean, because again, It's Ghost, they did play very, very well. And once again, I do really want to give a big shout out to Exhibit. Now, I really don't want to make it seem like I felt bad the first game. And here, the numbers don't lie. I mean, he finished 7-1-15. Overall hero kill stats, and for a Bombardier that actually lost the middle lane against Polywog Priest, which he again was debatable, as you said. You probably should have think Bombardier could win that middle matchup, but Limp was doing fantastic as he does. He was doing great rune control, but Bombardier, as it goes to as a team, I mean, he kept his composure, and again, numbers don't lie. 7-1-15. I definitely think you got to give him a lot of credit for the victory there, and why It's Ghost was able to come back. So man, oh man, we are going to a game 3 though. That's the exciting part here, and like I said, I wouldn't be surprised to say the least if we were. Sure enough, we are. So stay tuned, guys. We'll take a really quick break here. And we're going to be coming back at you once again on Breaking CPK. Joining me is Trial from Door. Game number 3 between It's Ghost and Trademark Esports. Who will face Complexity in the grand finals? We'll find out next.